We as a world have a variety of differences that make us all unique from one another. These differences can cause division and tension between people, but they can also cause beauty and culture and individuality. For my close friend Magali Magana, she has been able to experience both the joys of her Mexican heritage and the largely diverse atmosphere of the United States. In order to truly appreciate everyone's uniqueness, I believe that we must learn about the differences we hold on one side of the hemisphere to the other, and the similarities that we hold, as well as, lastly, an overall respect for others, no matter where they come from nor where they plan to go. We as a people often forget that uniformity should not be the goal. One of the most beautiful differences between every culture is food. When I asked Magali what her favorite food was, she told me two foods. One, tamales, which I've heard of, and two, pascol, which I had never heard of. She talked about the traditions her family has with them and the versatility of Hispanic cooking. Another one of the differences that Magali pointed out to me was the difference between overall cultures and friendliness. She talked about how in Mexico they were a very close knit community with a large bond, and how growing up in Mexico, the thing that shocked her the most about moving to the United States was the lack of a communal bond that you see. She also pointed out how much more diversity she's seen while living in the United States and the multitude of positives she sees in it. Another cool difference that I didn't really even think about writing into my speech was how Magali talked about how transport wise, everybody in Mexico, from how the town is built, they walk places, but here in the United States, you typically don't walk places, you drive. Another one of the differences that we all face is climate. Magali mentioned how Mexico's lack of seasons, because Mexico's seasons are typically what our summer is year round. So this transition from the seasons of Mexico to Kentucky seasons was very confusing and hard to get used to. Reading the Mexican American cultural values has allowed me to see a variety of differences in Mexico versus us. And some of these have already been pointed out by what things that Magali said, but one of the things I'd like to point out is I didn't realize how religion focused that Mexico was as a country, because they're very strict in their Catholic faith. But at the end of the day, what do we all face as similarities? Yeah, we're all human beings and we all have basic needs: food, water, air, shelter. But what is it that brings us together even when we're on different continents? From Africa to the United States, from China to Poland, what brings us together? For Magali, the one thing that she says she will never change is her bond with her family. Her favorite activity back home in Mexico is getting to spend time with her cousins and her family. And while that is also what she misses the most, she also talks about how her family in the United States are very closely bonded. And I believe that we all need some type of family bond, whether that be through blood or purely through bond. Another similarity Magali finds is the joy that she sees in both countries when we celebrate holidays. From Christmas to Cinco de Mayo, Magali said both countries may celebrate completely different holidays, but both love to get together and spend time with family and friends. So while we all may have our similarities and differences, one thing we often forget is how we not only need to learn how to respect each other, but to embrace everyone. Reading Cultures and Societies in the Changing World has made me realize the hard work, perseverance, and mindset that it takes to hold on to what your culture is in an ever-changing world, and how people can preserve their culture. We start by respecting traditions and cultures in order to make it easier for them. Magali says that her and her family do their best to keep their cultural heritage by celebrating Hispanic holidays in order to be reminded of the importance of staying connected with their culture. She talked about how living in Kentucky has sometimes made connecting with her culture hard to do because of the distance from her family, because sometimes when they're celebrating and they're celebrating at home and her extended family is celebrating in Mexico, she said she gets pictures and it makes her really sad, because it's just a completely different experience to be in Mexico celebrating those holidays. Not only is Magali's culture something that should be respected, it is something that should be admired. I know for me, by doing this speech, I've been allowed to learn so much about my friend of 7 years. By changing our thoughts and stigmas towards things that are different from us, we can create a positive community and a positive environment for everyone. I asked Magali if she felt both countries had communities that allowed its citizens to be cared for and respected, and she told me that she believed that it all depended on who you surround yourself with. So let's make that our goal. To be the kind of people that make people want to surround themselves with it around us. Getting to talk to Magali about her culture has not only opened my eyes to the beauty in Mexico, but also to the strength of my friend to go through such a life-changing move. I've learned some differences and some similarities that both countries hold, and most importantly, I've learned that we all need to create a better atmosphere for diversity to flourish. Thank you.